Welcome to Muslim Apologetics Australia. In this video, we're going to expose the double-faced hypocrisy of the Islamophobes, those on the far right, when it comes to judging certain individuals based upon their race, ethnicity, and religion. Yes, here is a person who is a non-Muslim. His name is Mcguire. He's made some controversial statements. He's a TV personality and he's pretty famous and prominent. Now, he makes some outrageous statements that is not really funny, and he basically demeaned the Jewish community. Now, the guy is a non-Muslim. It's interesting, when you're non-Muslim, you basically get some white privileges and you can basically get away with some of your comments. In fact, those comments are pretty okay when it comes to those who are in the far right. But when you're a non-Muslim, it's fine, you get away with it. If you are a Muslim, then hey, it's a different story. Take, for example, Mcguire. His statements shocked Australia. A lot of people objected his statements, but those on the far right accused those who were against Mcguire, saying, hey, he was just having a bit of fun. He was just joking around. So what was his comments that he was joking around with? Well, basically, he took a man and he found out that this person, this individual, had a Jewish origin and a Scottish origin. And he basically said to him, look, you must have been out of pocket growing up and you didn't receive enough pocket money. Basically, he was accusing the Jewish race, the Jewish community and the Scottish community for being greedy in somewhat way. And a lot of people said, look, this is wrong. However, those on the right, such as Rita Panahi, she's a columnist at the Herald Sun, and her fans, who are extremely anti-Islamic, these people said, oh, look, you should leave Mcguire alone. He's basically just joking. I mean, why are we having all this political correctness and whatnot? Yet, if it was a Muslim, I'm pretty sure it would be a different stand. So let's have a look. We'll go through the comments and we'll see people defending Mcguire. And these people are very anti-Islamic. Most of her fans and followers are very anti-Islamic. Have a look what Jan Henry says. She says, I'm surprised anyone is game enough to open their mouths except to eat these days. Even then, the nanny brigade has something to say about it. So she's basically accusing political correctness for basically going against Mcguire. That Mcguire should be free to say what he says and we should stop being a nanny state. Here's a comment from Julie Keth. She says, the few that complained have serious issues. What Eddie said is a type of Aussie humour that I and many others have grown up on. It's part of what makes Aussies so great. And she gets about 73 likes for it. So apparently making those controversial statements, making those demeaning statements against the Jewish community, apparently it's pretty patriotic. It's something very Aussie and something you should be proud of, apparently. This is coming from Julie Kelth. So what this white Mcguire non-Muslim did was something very Aussie, apparently. Have a look at what Trish Odson said. She says, poor guy, will have to apologize for sure, or he will be raked over the coals. Oops, sorry, I forgot we're not supposed to say guys anymore. So basically, she's having a go again against political correctness, saying that Mcguire is going to be forced to apologize for saying those comments. So this is the guy the right is defending, Mcguire. I mean, he is a nice guy. I like Mcguire. He's not a bad bloke. But what I'm exposing is those on the right. You know, if a person like Eddie Mcguire is making such a comment and passing such a comment against the Jewish community and the Scottish community, then you know what? It's all fun. It's all games. You know, it was just a joke. Stop being so harsh on him. You know, political correctness is going mad. But just imagine that Eddie Mcguire didn't make those statements, but this guy made those. Yes, Waleed aly. He's also a personality, a TV presenter. He's big, he's influential and so forth. And the anti-Islamists hate his guts. I mean, every time the guy makes a comment, even if it's got nothing in it, they make it something very big, and, you know, he has to basically go and leave TV, and they call for his resignation. Can you imagine a person like Waleed aly pass such a comment against the Jewish community or the Scottish community? He would be labeled as a racist. It would be called reverse racism. They would say he's an anti-Semite, anti-Semitic. They would say he's expressing Sharia law. He's against kuffar, he's against infidels. The guy is demeaning our humanity, our society, our liberation. The guy is abusing his freedom of speech. He should be called for his resignation. He should leave TV. In fact, you know what? He should be deported like Yasmin Abdul Majid. He should be deported because why? He's brown and he's a Muslim. That is the only reason he can't get away with it. But if you're someone like Eddie Mcguire, by all means, you want to make controversial statements, that's okay. We'll forgive you. You know, we will just ignore it. We'll throw it under the carpet. And you know what? Days will go by, we'll just ignore it. It's gone, finished, done with. Let's get on with our lives. But no, if it's Waleed aly, had Waleed aly made those very same comments, it would be a different standard, folks. And they know it. Rita Panahi, for example, will be all over it. Her social media will be going crazy, demeaning Waleed aly and so forth. And then they say things like, oh, white privileges don't exist. It's just a smokescreen. It's crap. It's nonsense. This is white privileges at its pure form, folks.